Coffee is life, and Kristen and I drink a ton of it. But we don't own a coffee maker. Here's 3 ways you can make it in your RV without any power. Welcome back to No Ordinary Path, everybody. I'm John. I am a travel nurse. My family and I travel in our 37-foot travel trailer that we have affectionately named Windy while we take contracts all around the United States, and we boondock a lot. I am so excited to bring you this Real Talk Tuesday because I love this subject. We are talking about making coffee while boondocking without any power. Now, we have our propane that you can still use when you're out there with no hookups. There are a ton of ways to make coffee. We're going to talk about 3 that we use just for their ease and their convenience. One thing that is the most important is a fantastic coffee to have and start with. The least used, but one of our favorites, is this old camping percolator. If I remember correctly, this is actually my father's, and it has been in the family for a very long time. This is what we call our Campfire Coffee. And I can tell you, and I'm sure Kristen would agree with me, this is probably the best tasting coffee. I think it's because when we make this, it's usually, as you might be able to tell by looking at it, it's a little worn, made over actual hot coals. It just sits right there on the ashes, on the coals. It is a very simple setup. Water in here. This little thing goes down as the water boils. It comes up through here, spills out into where the beans or the grinds are placed with this little lid on top of it. It spills up and out, bubbles through and down, and filters down through all of this and just back in. It's got this neat little lid on the top that you can see through, so you can watch it as it happens. And one thing that I do like about this that's a little different from some of the other ways that we're going to show you is that it just constantly rebrews itself as long as it's on the heat source. Maybe that's why the flavor is so fantastic. If I'm being honest, I think it's because, like I said, we're out in the woods or wherever we may be camping, and it's right there, fresh morning, you're sitting on a log, hearing all the nature around you and enjoying that first cup of coffee, and it is special and it is fantastic. Chloe made this for me with some help from Mom. It's my dad mug. It's a very special mug. I'm only allowed to drink from this mug when she is around. This little contraption is my go-to for when I wake up and I'm getting ready for work. This is the Finum cup, F-I-N-U-M cup, and it literally is a brew basket that sits right in the cup. Super easy to use. Now, you can use it for a standard mug size or some of the bigger mugs, or usually, like I'm getting ready for work, it goes in here. It is plenty big enough to put several scoopful of grinds in there. And so if you're just doing a single cup, you know, a scoop for its standard 8 ounces of water like you're supposed to, or if you're doing something that's a little bit bigger, you may put 1.5 to 2 in there, depending on how strong you want it. For this to work, you need another piece of the puzzle, the teapot. A lot of people overlook it, but actually the water is also a really important part about making really good coffee. If you start with good, cold, really nicely filtered water, it actually makes the brew taste a whole lot better. Boil a little water on the propane stove, dump it right in on top of the grinds and the Finium cup, and you have a fantastic fresh brewed cup of coffee ready to go. If you're like me and you literally are slogging out of bed in the morning, go ahead and fill this with the grinds, put it in the cup in the morning, have the water in the teacup ready to go, so all you got to do is come over and light the stove. And then when it goes and it's ready, you just pour it right in there and you are good to go out the door. The French press. This baby gets used every day, especially when we're both here. One thing we do is sometimes we use 2 of them at the same time. Kristen and I can go through an entire one of those really fast. And then there's like, everybody gets 2 full cups, and then whoever fights over the last one, and then we have to make another one. So sometimes we just make 2 batches at the same time. Preheating your French press, or even like a regular coffee cup before you put grinds in it to let it steep, actually helps improve the flavor and keeps it warmer longer. The average steep time for most French presses, or even like the Finium cup, they say is around 4 minutes to get a fairly strong cup. Since we're making cold brew with this one, I'm just gonna take the spoon, kind of stir it down a little bit, swirl it around. Now, I don't want to compress the beans down, so the nice thing about this French press is you can actually unscrew this part of it, so you can still put the lid on. So that allows those beans to kind of sit and settle and sink into them at night, since we're gonna have a nice strong cold brew in the morning. I can put this right on top of there. I'm gonna let it cool a little bit, and then it just goes right in the refrigerator. One of the subscribers, Jason, is a co-founder of IdylcHomes, which is a company that makes this fantastic French press model. And he sent me an email and said, hey guys, love watching the channel. I'd love to just bless you with our French press that our company makes. No strings attached, just as a thank you. And you know, I know you guys like coffee, so here you go. And he sent us this thing, and it is great. And there's even a bonus, because this next piece of this puzzle we got as well, and it's been just awesome to have. Grinding the beans fresh really helps. We have an electric grinder. I like it. Do I use it that often? Nope, because we boondock a lot. This is actually fun. I enjoy making coffee regardless, but when you get to do stuff like this, it makes it even more fun. This is the IdylcHomes Kona grinder, manual coffee bean. It is a burr grinder, and it's been really fun to get to kind of know this. I love it because it's great for boondocking. I have the opportunity, I don't have to start the generator. Fresh stuff that you can grind right there, and just the tactile, I don't know, there's just something about it. Being that it's already tomorrow, that should give you a clue of how late it is. This is going to be cold brew, so I'm grinding it very coarse. This is super fun. But I can also see if you are making several batches, or if you were just getting tired, it can be a little tedious. The neat thing about this and a lot of these manual grinders is that you can take the arm off, and you can actually hook up a little drill bit to this and just start off with a low power mode, and boom, all of a sudden you have a portable powered grinder. Thanks again, Jason, for sending us this stuff. We really enjoy it. You can check out all these products down below on our description. Hopefully you guys can't hear the rain right now, because it is legit pouring outside. And speaking of pouring, a lot of people use pour overs as another option. They do work great, and they make a great cup of coffee. They're a little more fragile. The AeroPress is another popular option. A lot of people like coffee. If you don't like coffee, we can't be friends. I'm just kidding. I'll still be your friend, but anyway, a lot of people like coffee. What's funny is that the way that they like their coffee is as diverse as the world languages. I've made a little cup here for my wife, and into it, we're going to put a little bit of creamer. This is half and half. We actually just prefer either half and half or heavy cream versus like all the flavored stuff. Kristen likes some sugar in hers, cinnamon. It's a little late for my taste for coffee. As you might notice, all the window shades are down. That's because it's nighttime. And the reason I have made a fairly strong cup of coffee for my beautiful wife at nighttime is that this is when Kristen does the majority of her editing. Here you go, my love. We just wanted to give you some tips on some of the fun stuff that we love and do to make our amazing coffee while we're out boondocking, and yeah, that's about it. So thanks for being here with us as always, and we will catch you out there.